Now, North Korea's nuclear program is under constant international scrutiny. Most of what we see comes from government-released videos of their facilities and parades of missiles. North Korea is believed to have between 4 and 8 nuclear weapons. The country has carried out at least 3 nuclear tests since 2006. And while North Korea has developed tested a range of short and medium-range missiles, it has yet to successfully test a long-range missile. Paul Carroll joins us now from San Francisco. He focused on North Korea's nuclear capabilities while working at the Department of Energy, and he's visited the country on 2 occasions. Paul, welcome.
Thank you, John.
Give me your thoughts on the potential of another nuclear test for North Korea. Is this something that the United States expects to happen soon?
Well, I think the potential for it is a question of if and not when. A question of when and not if. The recent satellite imagery that we've seen indicates a pattern that we've seen before. A lot of activity. Does that mean they're going to test imminently in the next few days? It's likely. It's also very likely they won't. But I think their track record is such that we can expect there will be another test. The question is when.
When he came to power, there was some suggestion that he might be a reformer. What happened with that?
Well, I think the word suggestion is exactly the right one. The problem, the fundamental problem we have with respect to the U.S. approach and actually more the international approach to North Korea is our engagement with them has been very sporadic. Sometimes this is for good reason, other times for not such good reason. We know very little about Kim Jong-un. The little that we do know, we fill in the blanks with speculation and educated guesses. And so the suggestion or the storyline that, oh, he was going to be a reformer or he was Western educated, so this will happen, was really just so much speculation. The fundamental problem is until we talk to the North Koreans, until we engage with them in a consistent manner, we're really all just guessing.
And why has there been such a refusal by the United States to actually have a dialogue there?
Well, I think your correspondent Mike put his finger on this. There's been a feeling that we've been burned before. I actually think that this narrative is a bit of a myth because we had nearly 8 years of something called the Agreed Framework, an international cooperative approach to North Korea that I would argue actually worked for that period of time. But domestic politics in the U.S. and elsewhere led to criticism of it, skepticism, and a narrative, if you will, that led to political costs. And really what the president is saying when he's saying, I'm not going to reward the North for bad behavior, is that, frankly, he's worried about the political liabilities domestically of doing so.
You visited North Korea twice, as I mentioned. What struck you most about the people and the culture?
Well, what struck me most about the people is how human they really are. I mean, others have said this in other contexts in terms of religious differences, cultural differences. The North Koreans, at the end of the day, are human beings. They're not monsters with horns. Unfortunately, they're living under a system of a dynasty, of a totalitarian regime that's truly the problem, not the North Korean people. And so the problem is we don't have access to those people. They don't have access to us. It's a caricature of a nation in most Americans' eyes.
Has technology changed that in any way?
You know, there's some hope that with the advent of cell phones in many North Koreans' hands, although they're limited to domestic calls, it's only a matter of time. And I would say that those cracks are beginning to widen. But it's a race against, do they actually learn more and have more freedom versus is there a collapse? Is there an outbreak of conflict on the peninsula?
Yeah, some interesting insight. Paul Carroll, it's good to see you. Thank you.